This content is based on facts for educational purposes. We do not intend to defame any company. Logos are omitted for copyright.
You ever do that thing where you're just endlessly scrolling through videos, you look up at the clock, and poof, an hour has just completely vanished? If you've ever felt kind of powerless to stop, well, there's a very real reason for that. And let me tell you, it has almost nothing to do with your willpower. Today, we're going to get into the science and the straight-up strategy behind why you just can't look away. Right? It's the big question so many of us are asking ourselves. You open an app like TikTok for, just a minute, and the next thing you know, it's dark outside. You know you should stop. Maybe you even really want to stop, but you just keep going. The thing is, this feeling isn't just you. It's a shared experience for literally millions. And the scale of this dependency, it's absolutely staggering. I mean, listen to the language here. According to actual legal filings, a huge chunk of young users feel they wouldn't want to live without this app. This has gone way beyond simple entertainment. This is dependency. And here's the most crucial point. This dependency is not an accident. Let's be crystal clear about this, okay? If you struggle to put your phone down, it is not because you are weak or lazy. It is because some of the smartest, most well-paid engineers in the entire world have designed a system with the specific goal of making sure you don't. The addiction, it's an intentional, meticulously crafted feature of the product. So to really get this, we gotta think like a doctor, or maybe even a military strategist. We need to identify the pathogen. What are these weapons of mass distraction, and how in the world do they actually work? Because this isn't just some cool software. It's a whole field of study with a very specific name. And here it is, persuasive technology. This is what Silicon Valley has basically perfected. It's the science of embedding psychological principles directly into the tech to steer your behavior. They're not forcing you. Oh no, it's much smarter than that. They're tapping into your brain's most fundamental wiring to keep you engaged, to keep you clicking, and most of all, to keep you scrolling. The process is basically a three-pronged attack. First up, immediate exposure. The second you open the app, bam, a video is playing, hijacking your attention before you can even think. Second, algorithmic targeting. The For You feed learns what you like with terrifying speed, creating this perfect, endless river of content tailored just for you. And third, relentless reinforcement. Even when you manage to close the app, those push notifications are always there, pulling you back in, a constant, and let's be honest, almost irresistible summons. And the result? Well, in an internal survey, TikTok users rated their agreement with the statement, "I spend too much time on TikTok," a 4 out of 5 on average. Think about that. People are aware of the problem. They feel the pull. They know it's too much. But the design is just too powerful to fight. So if the technology is the pathogen, what's the diagnosis for us, the patients? Well, there's a term that actually started as internet slang, but now scientists are taking it seriously. They're studying it to describe the cognitive effects of all this overconsumption: brain rot. And this definition isn't just a meme, it comes directly from recent scientific research. Scientists are defining brain rot as that very real mental fatigue and drop in cognitive function that comes from being flooded with an endless stream of low-effort, high-stimulation videos. You know that feeling, right? You feel mentally drained after scrolling, even though you haven't really done anything at all. That's it. Researchers have actually broken this down into 3 core factors. First, there's attention dysregulation. That's when your ability to focus on something long, like a book or even a full movie, just starts to, well, wither away. Second is digital compulsivity. That's the irresistible urge to check your phone, the many failed attempts to cut back, and even feeling your phone vibrate in your pocket when it didn't. And finally, cognitive dependency, where we start using our phones as an external brain for everything, which can weaken our own cognitive muscles. And this is the biological mechanism at the very heart of it all. As one NYU professor pointed out, every single like you get triggers a little release of dopamine in your brain. This isn't just some psychological trick, it's a chemical one. The app is literally leveraging the exact same neural pathways that are activated by addictive drugs. Just let that sink in for a second. Your brain is being systematically fed these little intermittent, unpredictable bursts of pleasure chemical. This is military-grade psychology aimed directly at your brainstem. So when you can't stop scrolling, it is not a failure of character. You are fighting a neurochemical battle against a system that was designed from the ground up to make you lose. Okay, so let's zoom out. This biological hacking, it isn't just affecting individual brains. It's shaping our entire society. What's the long-term prognosis when an entire population is plugged into this machine? The outlook is pretty complicated. So according to the technologist Tristan Harris, society is at a huge fork in the road. On one path, you have the upward spiral. That's where technology helps us create a wiser culture, which builds stronger institutions, which in turn create better, safer tech. But we seem to be on the other path, the downward spiral, where technology amplifies outrage and makes us feel more alone. This messy, incoherent culture weakens our institutions, making them unable to regulate the very tech that's tearing them apart. And so the cycle just gets faster and faster. Harris uses this really striking metaphor to make his point. He says we should think of these platforms as virology labs. But instead of engineering biological viruses, they're engineering mimetic ones. Viral emotions, viral outrage, viral misinformation. And their whole business model depends on creating these pandemics of thought that spread as fast as possible, no matter what the consequences are for society. And if that sounds like something out of a wild science fiction movie, Harris argues it's already our reality. We don't need a chip from Elon Musk to have a brain implant. For the last decade, he says, the AI-driven feeds on our phones have been acting like one, subtly guiding our thoughts, our fears, and even our political divisions. And this brings us to the final and maybe the most critical question. Our technological power is growing at an exponential rate. We can now manipulate human biology and attention at a scale that's never been seen before in history. But is our collective wisdom, our ability to manage this incredible power responsibly, keeping pace? Honestly, that's the challenge that's going to define our time.